All right, welcome back to the Run.down post-game show here on the Strickland YouTube channel. And if you're listening to this the day after, the Strickland Podcast Network. And if you're on Twitter, hop on over to YouTube. You can't leave comments on Twitter, sadly. I am Sam. I'm joined by Tyrese and Schwinn. Knicks win 138 to 129 versus the Indiana Pacers with a historic night with the Knicks young core of Emmanuel Quickley, Obi Toppin, and Quentin Grimes, all dropping 30-plus points. That is the first time Knicks have had 3 30-point scores in a game since 1979. That tells you a lot about the history of the Knicks, but it also tells you how special the Knicks young players are. And I guess we'll just talk about this for quite a bit. One thing I do want to include into this group is Mitch, of course. I feel like he's been kind of excluded in all the 330-point scorers talk. He had an insane stat line too. And he set the tone in the beginning of the game. The Knicks were really feeding him early on. And the Pacers could do nothing against him because they had Jalen Smith guarding him, and Jalen Smith is like 5 inches shorter than him. And I'm being generous there. But Mitch had 14 points, 16 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, 7 blocks. Probably would have had more if they were, not calling some of the weaker fouls that weren't actually fouls. But yeah,
he would have had more points if he stopped blowing fucking dunks because he was trying to cock it back.
True.
Fucking every single time.
Very true.
We would go
very true.
Tonight. Like,
but I'll give him a pass because
I'm not giving him a pass for that breakaway bullshit. Get the fuck out of here. You got fucking blocked by Jalen Smith and you want to foul? Fuck out of here. No shot. Nope.
All right, so Schwinn is not giving him a pass. No, I'll give him a pass.
No pass for that. You get blocked by Jalen Smith, who probably has like a similar vert to myself. No, you get no leeway. Fuck out of here.
Mind you, Schwinn is like a leprechaun, so like having this much vert is disappointing.
Well, vert is unrelated to height, Tyrese. But anyway, good job.
You're still not jumping either way.
I guess we can start with Emmanuel Quickley, of course, here at the Quickland.
How mad do you think Tommy D was watching this game?
Very mad.
Not as bad as fucking Sam Quinn.
You think was he like the Arthur meme? Just like the entire game.
Not as mad as Mark Cuban watching Jalen Brunson thrive on the Knicks, and we'll talk about that a little bit later.
Cole Anthony's 6th Man of the Year case is so compelling.
But is that not part of the agenda? Like, what? What agenda is there?
Look, I'm sorry, but Keith Smart told me that Malcolm Brogdon was 6th Man of the Year, so he's got to.
So he's got to be the 6th Man of the Year because Quickley just started all these games. But Emmanuel Quickley once again in a start. Jalen Brunson's out with right hand maintenance. Looks like the Knicks are actually doing their good job of resting their star before a marquee playoff matchup. But Emmanuel Quickley, 39 points, 6 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 steals on 14 of 26 from the field, 7 of 13 from 3, 4 of 5 from the free throw line. Just another absolute masterclass by Emmanuel Quickley. Yeah. I mean, what else can we say that hasn't been said about Emmanuel Quickley and these performances? He's all but wrapped up 6th Man of the Year. I will be enjoying the tears of all the Celtics fans as I am counting the money I made from my Emmanuel Quickley 6th Man of the Year bet that I made in February. So screw all the Celtics fans that are pissed. He's winning it. Sorry.
Remember, he's default. If he wins it, he's default.
Also, like the argument for Brogdon earlier in the year, somebody actually mentioned this somebody replied to one of my tweets about this. This is at M Patalano 710. He said Brogdon's argument was that he was the best player coming off the bench for the best team in the NBA. The Celtics are no longer that. IQ's argument is that he's the 3rd best player on the 5th seed, played amazing when needed as a starter, and leads in every advanced stat. I mean, that's it. Like, I really don't understand what the argument is for Brogdon aside from like you're a Celtics fan. Like, I just don't get it. And the other thing, like, I just want to say this for all the people that are like, oh, like Quickley's just getting it because he's on the Knicks and they get hype and blah blah blah. Why the fuck did Marcus Smart win Defensive Player of the Year last year? Why did that happen? He wasn't the best defensive player on his fucking team, and he got his shit torn apart by any elite player they played against in the playoffs. So fuck you. Shut up. Like, no. Like Boston gets way more fucking hype in the media than forget any New York team. The fucking Knicks compared to the Celtics, give me a break. Get all the fucking way out of here. If the Knicks had a Degrassi something like the Celtics just did last year, that shit would be endless fucking, fucking 24 hours a day storylines.
Dude,
fuck.
They had a nasty man as coach, and somehow like we just blew under the radar. And now they're talking about him like coaching in Toronto. Like, what are we doing here, man? Like, the whole Danny Ainge shit, the Brad Stevens shit, how they squandered the majority of those assets and got saved by the fact that Jason Taylor and Jalen Brown are really effing good players. But like, just they have been able to just skirt by on being mean. Dude, the fucking Ringer is a bunch of Celtics fans. They have a whole publication.
The Ringer is like if the Strickland had a national audience and billions of dollars to spend,
and was like 10 times worse.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that, but
no, we're better. We're better.
We'd be pretty shameless, probably.
Yeah.
But like,
we are pretty shameless.
Are we sure RJ Barrett isn't the most valuable trade asset in the league?
Our draft content is better. We'll tell you that much.
We don't have Kevin O'Connor just like trolling as like
John Collins. John Collins.
This was an awesome Quickley game, and actually, like I'll just say this, like this wasn't just Quickley. This was like Quickley. This was Grimes. This was Hart. This was Mitch. This was basically everybody. They just didn't try on
except
defense.
Fournier.
Well, no. I was saying I don't know if you know. I was gonna say none of them tried anything at all on defense for like 43 minutes. And then the last
third quarter.
They tried for a little bit in the third quarter, but there was mostly like they tried at the end of the third quarter. You're right.
Yeah.
And then it got close again, and they were like, "Fuck, all right, we have to try again." And they tried for the last 5 minutes, and it was just over. But like, they didn't try very hard. I didn't feel like Quickley had to work that hard for his 39. I didn't think Toppin had to work that hard for what he scored. I thought Grimes. Now I wouldn't say he worked super hard for it, but it's like he was doing shit that he doesn't normally do. He was creating right off the bounce, not just closeouts, but just like standstill dribble type of stuff. So it was more noticeable with him, but like they just destroyed Indiana for 4 quarters offensively. And also like the only bad minutes were when Deuce and Fournier were in. And like for Deuce, I have a little bit of sympathy because he's like being asked to run point guard after never being asked to run point guard. Fournier is just like, I'm happy he's getting paid. And I never want to like. And there are always these. I don't know if you guys get these people. They're always
millions to sit courtside for the Knicks.
Well, there's also these weird people that will like randomly pop up in my mentions and be like, "Oh, I hope Evan gets some burn. We might need to use him in the playoffs." And I'm like,
"No, you don't.
No, we'll never." And like, if we need to use Evan in the playoffs, it's over. Like, it's fucking over. If we have to use Evan in the playoffs.
It's Jover.
Yeah, it's fucking done, bro. But no, it was just fun to see them like not have to work hard, get a bunch of fucking numbers, and to finally be like the team on the other end of that, where it's like, oh, we kept like we've seen this now for a few games where it's like, oh, we kept it close, and they're like, okay, let's just try now for a few minutes and put this away, and that's what they've done. Like they tried at the start of the first quarter, they tried at the end of the third quarter, and they tried at the end of the fourth quarter. And those were all their runs where they like destroyed the Pacers. So there's not much to say about this game other than like those 3 were awesome. Mitch missed a lot of dunks.
You're really harping on this Mitch thing, man.
It was annoying. I'm sorry, it was fucking annoying.
Josh Hart had more smiles than Kemba Walker did. He was going through the motions.
Yeah. Josh Hart was just like chilling out there until he got pissed, and then he was like, "Okay, I'll try now," because he got attacked, and he's like, "What the fuck." But you bring up like the Mitch thing. I'm like, dude, like you can't sit here and bitch for like a year and a half about not getting touches,
and then blow all these dunks.
Yeah, no, get the fuck out of here. You don't get to bitch anymore about touches. But like
he was making some shit shake in the first quarter though.
He was
out here like
they were like baby deer.
Was he, Sam?
It was a baby.
What was he making shake?
Up.
All right. He was doing some post shakes. I'll say that.
It wasn't a dream shake. That was a nightmare wiggle. Like what
it was a nightmare wiggle.
Yeah, it was something. It was a.
He did this and it works for another reason because it was Jalen Smith and Andrew Nemhard him the post.
As long as he's happy though, you know what? If he's not gonna be on Snapchat, crying tonight, then I think we all win.
And also, we did like it looked like the Obi thing, he got hurt in the first quarter or whatever it was. It kind of looked bad initially. But then once they showed it, I was like, that just looks like it'll probably be sore for a second and he'll be fine. And then he was fine. Obviously, he played the rest of the game and he looked good. By the way, did Obi and Grimes play the entire second half again? I'm pretty sure they did.
Seems so.
Pretty sure they did. I don't know about that. I don't actually like. Fine, you can do that today. You do that for the next game if he wants to do it. Like that last game of the season
versus the Pacers.
It's just got to be fucking Keels, Jeffries, Rose, Fournier.
There will not be a post game that day. I promise you that.
There's no like they don't.
No, we're doing it. We're doing it.
Like if the only thing was like you wanted to make sure like we finish with definitely the 5th best record in the East or something weird like that. Fine, you did it. Like they don't like. And honestly, these last 2 games, I'm cool with them. Like these, especially the 5 guys that started today, and Hartenstein, and then if RJ comes back or whatever, the guys that are going to be playing in the playoffs, I'm fine with them playing a bit because you want to keep them in shape, you want to keep them in rhythm. I'm cool with that. I honestly would have been totally fine if at the end of the third quarter, everybody like it was just the scrub show. I wouldn't have cared. And I think that's how they really need to. They need to be careful because you don't want to get like some stupid ass injury in these games that like literally there's nothing you get out of this. There's not a thing. The only benefit you could possibly get out of it, which isn't even a benefit anymore because you don't like if you want to fuck over the Blazers, like you want to like fuck over their pick or something that we're going to give them. Like if that's your motivation, fine. But there's no benefit. Just you don't need to push it with these guys.
I was telling Tyrese before we got on here, Tibbs, he's just a parlay respecter. He's just making sure everyone gets their numbers.
I put the house
and pockets are being fed. Pockets are being fed right now. Like he is just making sure, dudes are making money.
Overs has been easy money.
Easy.
Grimes overs, Obi overs have been good.
There's no way you're betting Obi overs. You must have to like.
I'm not betting.
Do you like vomit? Do you like vomit a little bit when you do that?
I can't bet in Texas. I'm just saying.
Wait, you can't bet in Texas?
No, Texas is not betting.
I was just gonna say. I mean, that I could understand being in.
Is that a racial?
They're like, no, you, Tyrese, not
you. I have a dream. Whoa.
Oh my gosh!
But Doc Kevin, Texas, he's good. He can.
Doc Kevin said North Carolina.
Oh my gosh! This is what the Knicks, winning meaningless games in April. When's the last time that we were able to just like sit here and relax watching like a Knicks game in April where it had like no stakes?
Probably 2018-19 when we went 17-65. I was chilling.
I meant on the positive end of it, Schwinn.
It had to be 2012-2013. Chris Colville getting his numbers.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah,
that was a good time.
I remember that.
Yeah, like back-to-back 30 pieces. Yeah,
that's the last one.
Cooking.
We also put like Earl Barron in a game, and he got like some crazy numbers too.
That was way back. That was like 2009 or 2000.
No, remember we signed him for that.
Oh, you're right. We did sign him for a game, right?
And he went crazy in one of those last couple games. He had like 17 rebounds or some shit.
Yeah.
Weird ass times.
Good times. Yeah, but yeah, it's like this is great. It's fun. Doesn't it like I was like every time I found myself getting somewhat annoyed, I was just like, this game doesn't actually matter. Like and they're playing like it.
Relax.
And they're playing like it. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like they know it doesn't matter either. But they probably were like, all right, let's just fucking win this. Tibbs is a psycho. Let's move on.
Like I don't want to get yelled at on the bus back home, dude.
Yeah.
Tibbs was like hysterically laughing and like.
So he was cracking up in the first.
I was like, what the hell is so funny?
Yeah, he was going pretty nuts. He was like he laughs like the fucking Joker, man. It's crazy. Like he was he's just so over the top with it. But then it was funny, like in the third quarter, they zoomed in on him at one point, and it's like a meaningless game, and he's like fucking losing his mind on one of the refs. So I'm like, it's the same guy he was cracking up with in the first quarter. I'm like, you're just a insane person.
He's like someone that's like learning how to laugh. Like he just doesn't know how to do it because he doesn't do it often. Yeah. So he's like trying it out.
What is Schwinn's, the Hawkeye 420 asks, what is Schwinn's message under his Zoom name? The Strickland Socials is covering it up. Unfortunate. Said IQ 6 Man of the Year and fuck Brogdon. That's what it says.
Nice.
True.
All right, I guess we can get to comments now because we don't have to do the ad read. We're not on TBPN and we don't have to do DraftKings ad reads anymore. So
Hey guys. Malcolm Brogdon finished with 29 points, by the way. Only 29 points. Somehow this is
sad.
bolstering his case
not
too.
39.
Can
I
I
don't even
also?
think has he even had a 30 ball this game? I don't think he's had a 30 ball this game.
No, I don't actually like. Are they better on either end of the floor with him on the court this year?
No.
And
They're a minus.
right, and I just like I don't know. At some point, it doesn't really make sense. The Knicks are better. They're better, way better defensively with IQ on the court. They've been very good with him offensively, not as good. Though I would love to see what I'm going to pull that up. I'm going to find out what his minutes are, what his on off is when if I take out that god fucking awful Jericho Sims Hartenstein fucking lineup he had to play with for a good portion of the season. Oh my god, he had to do it again today. That was crazy.
That passing though was fire. That short roll passing, it was just short roll pass to short roll pass, and nobody would hit the shot, but it was some good ball movement, and I was a fan.
That was like
those are the hoops that you. Those are the hoops
that was like Vietnam flashbacks watching Hartenstein.
I'm sorry, that's I somehow have a soft spot for gritty, ugly basketball, and that reminded me of the '90s Knicks.
I mean, I
You
have
weren't
a soft
even
spot.
alive for that, Tyrese. How do you have a soft spot for it?
I've seen the fucking tape. It was just two bigs, and they were just out here getting buckets. Like it was good in its moments. Okay, that 5 minutes and 13 seconds that Jericho Sims played, where he just did nothing but like swing pass. That's what real hoops is about.
You're sick.
I am.
You're sick in the head.
I am. I agree.
All right, let's get into some comments. Let's see. Walt Perrin is a draft genius, by the way. Shout out to Walt Perrin, man. Make sure we got all these young players.
And Trevor Keels.
Okay.
Yeah. No, young players and Trevor
My
Keels.
favorite thing of Trevor Keels is the Ringers draft comparison for him. Lou Dort without the defense. I was like, okay. That's a regular brolic nigga. Like what?
That's an OLB.
That's nobody special. Like,
So he's just
a
a guy.
brolic guy.
Yeah,
he's
he's
just a
just a big
brolic
dude.
guy.
Oh my god.
And Trevor Keels isn't even brolic. He's like chunky.
Yeah, he's just built like Scott Steiner. Like it's just...
I was like, okay, Ringer. Like that doesn't make me feel encouraged about the Knicks taking him, but whatever.
As Kevin O'Connor just become one of these off the cuff, bro. Like some of these don't even make any sense, dog.
It's a shame he couldn't get minutes tonight. Maybe he'll get minutes versus the Pelicans.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Thibs is gonna try way too hard versus the Pelicans because he knows they're fighting for something. Maybe that last game versus the Pacers will.
I think he just wants to break his spirit. I don't know. I think Tim just wants to break team spirits.
I respect that.
He's like, I'll rest Brunson, sure. But there's like a Maltese club. He's like, all right, quick, you're going 40 tonight.
I just think he is incapable of like once he's in a game, he's just like that's the only thing that matters is that game. And within like he's gotten a lot better at this obviously this year. But like look, man, he wanted to leave Evan and Deuce in there for longer than he did. He wanted to leave Sims in there in that Frankenstein ass lineup too. And the problem is none of those things worked. And he was just like, well, if these things aren't even working at all, I'm going to go back to the guys that work. And that's that. And like, I think it's a little crazy, but I don't know. I don't totally hate it. I kind of like am slowly starting to feel like there is some value to Tibbs' insanity, at least with the guys we've drafted.
I think, especially
they seem to respond to his.
Yeah.
I mean, like he's definitely, he's made some comments at times where you're like, do you think Quickley's a point guard, or you just think he's like not? And then he's like said some stuff about he's like hinted at RJ like not working the hardest and stuff like that. And I think he's got like he probably has a decent handle on what these guys respond to at this point. And at the very least, they don't, even if they fucking hate him, which they might all hate him for all I know, they don't quit on him. That's really all that matters at the end of the day.
Yeah. Plus, like he's just looking at Obi like, dude, you wanted minutes all year. You can't complain now. Like,
Obi didn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
Obi played 48.
Obi was skipping. Quickly was like, thank Jesus I get to play the game of basketball another day, 40 minutes, and Grimes is just like, I'm getting my numbers. Like, I don't think anybody
Man.
cares. Like, I think the fact that like these guys just like play basketball so much kind of like helps a lot. Like, they have young legs, and you figure that like, especially someone like Obi, like he's never getting these reps again. And plus, I'm pretty sure Indiana's brass was happy he got to play that much. So, works out for them.
Indiana's smiling.
Indiana is smiling.
I think Zach Lowe said he was on with Begley and Macri and whatever on that SNY thing yesterday. What is it? The putback?
Yeah, the
Begley
putback.
show. I think he said something like he thinks the Knicks could get maybe like a mid-first for Obi, which I was like, okay. I mean, if that's what they end up getting for him at this point, you just kind of have to like take it for what it is and move on probably. But I will say, and this is what really sucks about not just the fact that our games are meaningless, but that every fucking team we're playing apparently is also going to be playing meaningless. Like, this is a meaningless game for the Pacers, right? The last game was meaningless for Washington. Yeah, and like we'll see. I mean, if Memphis holds off the Pelicans, that game on Friday might not mean too much to New Orleans, depending on the results. So like, it kind of sucks that we're not getting any of these Obi minutes in like a real, I don't want to say where there are actual stakes, and that sucks. But it is still nice to see him play. And like, look, all I'm going to say, Tyrese, I know you just troll 95% of the time, but there are people that like legitimately believe that Obi is not an NBA player, and like I just don't understand that at all. Like he clearly is a player though that he's going to be better if you give him more minutes. He's not a player that's just like give him 6-7 minutes each half and that's that, and like he can be good. Like he needs to get into the rhythm of the game. He needs to get up and on the floor.
He needs to gain that confidence.
Yeah, and you see that when he doesn't have.
Dude, this guy took a between the legs step back three and cashed it
in the corner. In the corner.
Dude, even the Pacers announcers were like, "He's never done that before. What is he doing here?"
Yeah. It's so racist. You were watching the Pacers broadcast. By the way, Ed Cohen, did you guys hear him tonight? This guy's voice cracks a lot.
I didn't want to listen to Ed Cohen tonight. So I was like, what's the Pacers? Ed Cohen puts me to sleep, dude. Ed Cohen is the equivalent of like a Knicks lullaby. I'm just going.
Knicks lullaby.
I like Ed Cohen, but he's probably best suited to
do radio.
Yeah, I like Ed Cohen in his role.
Knocks it down with the finish.
Ed Cohen is like the opposite of Gus Johnson.
Wow.
Damn.
He is, man. Gus Johnson, like a fucking open three, down 20 in the second quarter, we'd be like,
he will make it sound like the most important basket in the world. That's special right there, though.
I'll say Ed Cohen's still better than Kenny Albert. So like, oh man, the post Mike Green era is gonna be some horrible.
Let's not even think about that. Hey, let's be positive.
I mean, we're gonna get a lot of Wally in the post Clyde era. Looking for
Don't say that shit, please.
Making my stomach churn.
Can we just get Han? Han is better than Wally, dude. Like,
yeah, he is. Wally definitely has a lot of like, Long Island Blue Lives Matter energy on there.
So telling me that Alan Hahn is just he's a whole ass liberal. Alan Hahn's liberal media.
He's like he voted for Biden. How about that?
He would have voted Obama for a third term.
Yeah, I would have voted him for a third term. All right, bud.
And Wally was crying yesterday during the indictment. All right.
This is what people tuned in for.
This is definitely what they came here for. After Knicks, Knicks Young Core 30 wall special.
Bill Pito's definitely libertarian, by the way. 100%.
Big Ron Paul guy.
Oh my gosh.
All right, I think it's time for the DraftKings ad read, Sam.
No, we don't do that anymore. David Goodman here has a good comment. Clyde always references Knicks being last in steals. Wonder where they rate since Hart has arrived. Also be interesting to see since Fournier got benched.
I can look that up for you, David. Give me a second.
That is a great comment, by the way.
Production value. Shout out to Split with the stats.
All the Hart numbers are post All-Star? No, he had 3 games pre-All-Star too, right?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Look it up right now. You guys can talk while I do this.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk. I mean, with this Knicks, like these young guys getting all these minutes, I do like this a lot, just because like I know we talk about like the injury concern, but like as a matter of like just gaining momentum heading into the playoffs, this is like the best possible thing. You're getting, first of all, you're getting rest for RJ Barrett, who doesn't have to play through sickness, when we all know how bad that can get when he plays through sickness. You got Jalen Brunson getting rested, Julius Randle
Right.
not really getting rested. I mean, he kind of gets a rest, but like he's like recovering from an ankle sprain, so like sort of resting. But you know, you kind of get all these guys fresh, and then you get all the young guys with the momentum of, you know, playing all these games. I mean, I'm loving the underdog vibes that we're getting from a lot of people all over the place in this Cavs Knicks series. It definitely has the opposite effect of when we were playing the Hawks. A lot of people picked us versus the Hawks, and we ended up screwing that over. So I like the underdog vibes. We believe Knicks.
Dude, it's not even underdog wise. It's just disrespect at some points. Like you see people talk about, oh yeah, the three best players are Garland, Mobley,
Evan Mobley, and Mitchell. I'm like, all right.
Evan Mobley
Mobley
is to hit puberty first before you talk
yeah,
about him.
like y'all setting up that young man for failure.
Evan
Mobley, oh yeah, Mobley's awesome, but like people are already calling him an all-star, and like I think he's gonna get there. I'm not even like questioning that, but I'm like, he's not that right now. I've seen Defensive Player of the Year buzz for him, and I don't love Jared Allen, but like I think Jared Allen's more important to their defense than Mobley is.
He is.
Yeah, it's like that's why I just don't really. I think there's an idea of what people are conflating what Mobley can become with what he is right this second.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like right this second, he's a good young player, but he's not on that level yet.
All right. Since we got Josh Hart, we rank 25th in steals. So we're still not a great steals team.
Yeah, we're moving up, baby.
Yeah, we are moving up, but yeah, we're still not a great steals team. The biggest thing though is we've just been a very good defensive rebounding team since then. So, I mean, we've been number one in defensive rebound percentage basically since post All-Star break. I think we're third since we made the rotation change.
Cavs have been last since All-Star break as well, which is something to like watch.
Yeah. The Cavs have?
Yeah, the Cavs have.
Yeah, well, I think Allen's missed a bunch of time since All-Star break, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, that's like this is what I'm saying. Like Mobley's awesome. And he, as like maybe in terms of just like making plays on the ball type of defense, yeah, Mobley's better. But like we know that's not defense. Like that's just not what all of defense is. And there's no way you're ever going to convince me that, at least not right now, that Allen is less important to their defense than Evan Mobley. That's just absurd.
Yeah, like
Jaren Jackson Jr. is the defensive player of the year, and like I fucking hate Memphis, but I just don't even think it's that. I feel like that's like pretty just clear cut.
I mean, Brook. No, probably not Brook. I think Brook kind of lost it. I don't even know why he lost it. I think he just kind of lost it.
Brook has no aura, bro.
Yeah, you actually just might be right. Like Brook doesn't have, despite the fact like he actually puts the numbers, just like he had 26 and 7 tonight, and he just doesn't have aura. Sad. I mean, he doesn't. Like Brook Lopez is like average white American. Like
yeah. It's Brook Lopez. I love Brook Lopez, but it's like
he's meh.
Yeah, well, he just doesn't have Jaren Jackson Jr.'s aura.
We can't even say that with a straight face, dog.
Look, they don't have anything on Emmanuel Quickley's aura. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the Strickland right now, it is officially the Quickland, and if you take a look, you'll even see that there is a new Avi.
Yeah,
and I can't add comments anymore because Sam, as a dictator, has in my rights.
Whoa. Let's
on the Schwinn hate list is like Austin Crochet and then like fucking Sam. So like
wow.
But Aaron De Niro said in the comments, with all the Spider talk as of recently, felt like a performance like this from our young guys was very fitting. Not just fitting, but like all the people that were just like, wow, this is like, remember the first like 2 weeks of the season, you couldn't escape. Like, this is why you got to oh look, we got Quentin Grimes and Donovan Mitchell, MVP candidates out here, and it's just like I didn't care about it then, and this is why I didn't want to do that trade, because I'm just like, we were dealing these guys from a position of not having seen what they can really do.
Here we
and
are.
could you,
We can
if we
finally
had
see what they
done,
do.
yeah, and like what the reported, I know that there's been all kinds of reporting on this. I'm fairly confident about this, that the Knicks' final offer was something like R.J. Barrett, 2 unprotected first, and other shit. So probably
It was RJ Quickley, 2 unprotected first and 3 protected first.
Yeah. So whatever it was, and I wouldn't have hated that. I would have hated that mostly because I just think like your young players aren't being valued in that trade at all. But I at least like on the surface, I'm like, okay, I kind of get that. But like the final one that like Woj kind of reported, he initially reported like what the Knicks are willing to do, but I think I'm almost positive it's not what the Knicks are willing to do. It's what Utah wanted. It was that same deal, but like a 3rd pick, and then we send Evan to another team with a protected first to dump his salary there. Like it's just like if we had done all of that, and even if we're the 4 seed and the Cavs are the 5 seed in this scenario, and I had to sit around and I had to watch Emmanuel Quickley and Grimes go off on these other places, and like I would be so mad. I'd be fucking furious. And like it's just awesome to see these guys, especially Quick and Grimes. Like, it's always nice for me to see Obi thrive, but like, I don't know if he's going to be here or not, right? And that's a different thing. But like to see Quick and Grimes play at the level they've been playing at, I mean, as Quickly's been playing at this level for a while. Grimes obviously taken a leap here in the last 5, 6, 7 games. But to see them playing like this, it's just awesome. And it's also like watching them together, because they don't get to play together a lot, right? When we're at full health, they don't play together a lot. But watching them play together is just like fun. You get like an idea of like, oh, this was what it could have been like if we had gone another way. And I just think it's like cool to see that stuff. But 2 guys you picked 25th overall back-to-back in drafts, to see them playing at the level they're at, says a lot about them. It says a ton about them specifically as players, and it says a lot about the front office, and specifically Walt Perrin, who is the head draft guy for selecting them where they did. Both those guys were seen as reaches. Both of them were at 25 apparently, but clearly they were not. They were values, if anything.
Oh, why did you get them at 32 like my board said? Oh. Think about the extra year.
Someone legitimately gave us an F for taking Quentin Grimes.
Ah!
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And then both highlight got an A+. Jaden Springer got an A+.
Did you say Jerry Springer?
Jaden.
I was going to say Jared Springer. I was like, who the hell is that?
I was about to say Jalen. I was thinking about Jalen. Too many damn Jalen's in the league.
David Goodman, Fournier, minus 22 in 11 minutes. How is that even possible? Thibs must be a smart guy. How the fuck did he start Fournier to begin the season?
Is this like going back? Remember, Grimes got hurt, or he was hurt the first day of
and everyone was like, oh my gosh, he might have plantar fasciitis.
Yeah, so maybe that's all it was. I don't know. I mean, because Grimes moved into the starting lineup pretty quickly, right?
Yeah.
So
it took him a little bit a while, because like he was healthy for like 5 or 6 games, and he was just like playing like garbage time minutes. And Cam was still in the starting lineup. Ugh.
The funniest part about that is when he came back and like he was just like, okay, Cam, you're gonna get 12 minutes a night now. That's gonna happen.
And you're gonna be okay with it. And if you're not gonna play again.
And then Cameron was like, bet you won't do it. And then he did it. And now Cameron just collected DAPs in Portland.
Yeah.
Complaining about politics.
Kevin Knox going strong though. My boy Kevin Knox.
Shout out to Mikey Cooks. He's still holding on to the faith. We all gave up.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, I mean, I think that's probably all it was. Like Schwinn said, it might have been just, Dibs just waiting on Grimes to get fully healthy, get his legs under him. Because he probably he didn't want to throw him in there fresh off the foot injury. And look, it's paid off. I mean, if Grimes was healthy to start the season, who knows what, how we start the season differently. But yeah, man, Fournier's minutes are always rough now. Like he had that one game versus the Sixers this year where
Shout
like
out.
he was on fire.
And we
Big
thank
game.
him for it. We thank him for that.
We thank him for that, but like I legitimately never want to see him see the court again.
If
Take your ass to the World Cup, bro. Nobody want to see this.
if he hadn't won us that game, we would still have to be trying to win basketball games right now.
True.
Probably.
Because we would not have the tiebreaker, or we wouldn't be tied in division record with Brooklyn potentially.
Yep.
Brooklyn 7-8, we're 8-8. They play Philly last game of the season. Philly's not going to be trying. So, yeah.
Wow.
It takes a village.
It takes Evan Fournier.
We.
The Hug Life
Oh shit!
says
What's up, Hug?
RJ who?
Be nice. Let's be nice. Let's focus on the positives right now.
Who is out with illness. As we know, RJ plays really rough when he is out with illness.
His stomach hurt.
RJ's fasting before the playoffs.
Good way to lose some weight.
RJ.
Ramadan RJ. Good way to lose some pounds before maybe he sees all the posts about everyone calling him better when he's skinny. He's like, you know what?
Yeah, it's not fat. To me, it's like, dude, you're not.
He's husky.
Yeah, why are you so big? Like, why do you look?
Why are you so big?
Yeah,
He's
like
crazy.
why do you look like Desmond Bain? Like, what the fuck?
He just built like a whoopee cushion.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Like, I just don't understand. And it's like, it's so obvious he's not moving as well now, right? So it's like, why? Go work with somebody different, please, for the love of God. For the love of God, next summer, go work with different.
Chris Brickley.
Yeah, no Chris Brickley. Work out with whoever Grimes is working
Lethal
out with.
shooter.
Work out with whoever Quickley's working out with. Just work out with those two guys.
Quickley was working out with I think Brickley, right?
Yeah, he was working out with Brickley.
He was working out with
I think
Brickley.
he does skill work with Brickley, but I'm pretty sure his lifting and stuff he does with like the Knicks.
The team, yeah.
I think
Yeah.
so. RJ just goes to like fucking
Drew
Toronto.
Hanlon and
Yeah. He goes
and
to
eats
like
olive oil peanut butter sandwiches.
My man is throwing back oxtail and rice.
No, he's eating peanut butter. He's eating olive oil doused. They're like
Which is
drenched in olive
Which is
oil.
disgusting, by the way.
They're like drenched in olive oil peanut butter
That's
sandwiches.
why you built like a futon. Like, dude, get your life together.
You know what? He needs to get sponsored by like Planet Fitness instead of DoorDash. That's what we need. But no,
Yeah,
I mean for real. Like honestly,
being that big and having a DoorDash sponsorship is like terrible combination.
But like legit, look at like Grimes tonight. That dunky on the first half and his burst. Like I thought his first step that was underrated last year. He's clearly faster now. Like he's very, very obviously faster now. Has got way more burst and his vert looks much better.
We got RJ Barrett built like Eddie Curry.
Right, and it's like so I'm saying it's like you can't. When you see those two guys, I mean, just watching Grimes say the speed at which he's like ripping through and going, it's like, holy shit. I mean, he had one drive in the second half. I don't remember. He just ripped through from like the wing. It was like one dribble. He's at the rim. It was unreal. And it's like that is, you like think about when people always say like modern NBA. And I feel like that's just like a stupid buzzword that doesn't actually mean that much.
It's also a stupid handle on Twitter.
Yes. Okay, that was a good setup that I did not even know I was setting up. But like, but like, what to me, if it means something, is like you watch like Quickley and Grimes. You watch like they can do so many different things on the floor for you. They can operate on and off ball, the speed with which they play, the recoveries they make defensively, like getting out to a shooter, making a second rotation, making a third rotation, fourth. Like that's the stuff that really fucking matters with the way the league is now, right? Like with all of the spacing, with all the shooting, all that shit. And when you see the way they play, I just think like, I don't know. It's just, I can't say enough about those two guys very specifically tonight. I mean, and for the season, they've been fucking awesome.
Yeah, and then RJ Barrett is built like he runs the Soprano family. So
wow, that's crazy.
There's no Tony Soprano slander on this podcast.
That show sucks.
That's literally the worst opinion you've ever had.
It is literally one of the most overrated shows in history.
You've
seen my tweets. You know how I feel about that show.
You literally don't know ball.
Whatever. The Wire is better.
That's the dumbest opinion of all time.
Go.
Congratulations.
Go to hell. If you put Topper on the Pacers, would he instantly be their second, third best player? He'd probably be their fourth.
Who would be their first three?
I mean, it'd be Halliburton, obviously. It would be
Mathurin.
Miles Turner. Not Mathurin. I'd probably put Buddy Hield and then, Obi Toppin. I think Matherin's, okay, but, I don't think he is.
Yo,
I think Matherin's their best talent.
Yeah.
Fuck Mathurin.
You better what the part
That dude is dead to me.
No, when Seg is mad at players, it's always parlay related.
Nah. Well, now it is. Before parlays.
Except for Drew Holiday.
I'd never put money on Drew Holiday. I put money on James Harden before I put money on Drew Holiday, and I hate James Harden.
You just hate money.
I hate Drew Holiday.
Don't worry.
But anyways,
we'll have our time. We'll have our time.
Oh, we will. Imagine we play against the Bucks in the second round, and Drew Holiday is the key swing factor.
DeRozan had a stinker tonight? Oh, we're back. DeRozan had a stinker too.
Well, playoffs are right around the corner. You know what happens? The weather's getting warm lately, man. The weather's getting warm. DeRozan's getting cold.
Oh, did he have a really shitty game today?
He had 0 through the first 3 quarters.
Nice.
I think
Classic DeMar.
How many points did he finish with tonight? He had to finish with
he had 8.
10.
He had 8.
No way.
You hit 8 on 3 or 12 shooting.
The funniest thing is some shorty was promoting some betting shit on Twitter, and she took a DeRozan ladder of DeRozan 25, 30, and 35 points. She put $100 on each of them shits. Jesus.
So
that could have gone to the Salvation Army. What the hell are you doing with your life?
Yes, DeRozan was 3 of 12 for 8 points. What the fuck? I don't. The Bulls.
He's getting ready. He's gearing up for that play-in game.
Giannis didn't play today. Middleton only played 8 minutes.
And they still got smoked.
Yeah, they're just.
You let Drew Holiday put up 20 and 15 on your team, you gotta go home.
Wow.
With 7 turnovers, but 20 and 15. Drew Holiday.
This is the Bulls literally peaked last year, and that's the funniest thing ever because every single Knicks fan called that shit.
But remember, they clinched the play-in, so.
Well, they picked a direction.
They're actually 10th in the play-in, and people were celebrating.
They're not even gonna get home court in the play-in. That's fucking hilarious.
They had to go to Toronto.
Oh, they're gonna get beat up there. Oh my god.
Dude, I'm so happy. One of the main reasons I just never wanted to be in the play-in was the chance that we would have to play Toronto.
Oh my god.
I never want to play them again. And fortunately, it looks like we'll never have to play them again with Nick Nurse as their head coach.
It'll be Ime Udoka though, because they don't care about nastiness in Canada.
God.
They let Justin Bieber across the border. They claim they have no moral standards. That's the 2 worst things to come from Toronto: the sports team and RJ Barrett.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's rough. On a night that RJ Barrett didn't even play.
Because he was too busy having bubble guts in the fucking Indiana bathroom.
Wow.
Lay off the fucking olive oil, peanut butter, and jelly sandwiches, Tubby.
Speaking of Tubby, let's see how the Mavericks are doing.
They're up 1, I think. They're in a dogfight with the Kings. Oh, they're up 2. Oh, we're back. Come on, Luka. Luka Magic, 29, 9, and 6.
They're down 1 point right now.
No, they just hit a 3. Oh. Okay,
so, perfect segue to talk about Rick Brunson, who Adult Donkeys A Time for Turtles. What a name, by the way. Says, I blame Rick Brunson. So yeah, today a bunch of quotes came out from Mark Cuban, who is in his feelings about Jalen Brunson absolutely leading the Knicks to glory, while the Mavericks are fighting for their lives in the play-in. They're 11th place or some shit. But yeah, he had a bunch of quotes today. They even said he showed messages to a publication between Brunson's representatives and himself.
Well, the reporter had to come out later and clarify it, and he was like, "Oh, it was actually a communication between Cuban and Nico Harrison, their GM." And I'm like, "That's good good cover you're laying down. Good one, bud.
Oh my god.
Got an owner fucking talk. Yeah, I just showed him the agent messages. Like, buddy, what are you doing here?
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, he had a series of tweets. Brown Townsend has a whole bunch of them. He says Mark Cuban tells us that despite what was reported in the past, the Mavericks never had an opportunity to sign Jalen Brunson to a 4-year extension last January. Then, when the trade deadline approached, Brunson's side made it clear that the asking price would be 18 to 23 million. And it's funny enough, after the playoff run, when they asked Mark Cuban, "Do you feel like you're confident enough? You feel like you're confident to retain Jalen Brunson?" And he said, "Yeah, well, we can pay him the most money." What happened to that energy? Like, that's hilarious.
Like the dude is keeping, because from Jalen himself, he was like, they had two chances. It was after the bubble playoffs where I think Brunson had a really bad series or whatever. And
Versus
people
the
were like,
Clippers.
people were like, well, you certainly can't pay him for $55 million over 4 years. That's too expensive. That's less than $14 million. You just can't do it. And then it wasn't offered, and I think they offered it again after the trade deadline. And by that point, it was Brunson starting, and he knows he's going to get paid more. So like, and they weren't offering it beforehand because they wanted to see if they could probably trade him midseason. So like, if you're Jalen Brunson, why would you go back if you know that like the first deal you're on the way out?
Yeah.
So like, it was dumb. We all know that he's straight up lying, because Jalen Brunson has no reason to lie about that stuff. Like what? Almost a year.
What does he gain from it?
Yeah, he gains nothing from it.
He gains looking like a good guy or some shit. Like whatever. Like
nobody cares.
Yeah, nobody cares about that shit. Like,
so, yeah,
Jalen Brunson made a decision for himself to, give himself an opportunity to be a leading guy on a playoff team, and he's done that in his first year very successfully. And Mark Cuban is just, in his feelings because the Mavericks are looking like shit because he made a poor mistake.
Yeah, he made a poor mistake, and fucking like Luka Doncic is out here moving like Ray J in the Wonder Wish video, and he's just like, I miss Jalen Brunson. The man is in the rain holding up the boombox, saying, "Baby, come back." Like, and he's mad about it. So like, you can cry. We didn't even want Luka, but like, you can cry about it. You're good. It's so clearly coping, and it's so clearly like Cuban trying to look like he did all he can. It's like,
Kyrie is fucking going off right now.
Hell yeah!
Trying to get us that pick.
Kyrie Irving is down with the Mavs being 11. You should resign him to 4 years, 5 years, $200 million.
I mean, they're gonna have to give him the max.
Yeah, they're gonna have to. Yeah. Like, he has them over a barrel.
Yeah.
Because if he walks, then like
someone just tweeted that Kyrie's snapping right now too. So yeah. But yeah, Cuban also said that he had a great relationship with Jalen Brunson and his representatives, but the problem started, Cuban says, to this comment right here, when Brunson's father, Rick, took over the negotiations.
All right, man.
What is, like, what does that even mean? Like, you let the negotiate, like, he's acting like they never had any chance to re-sign him. And that's just fucking wrong. Like, he's painting it as like, well, we couldn't do it after the trade deadline because he would. Okay, but what about before the trade deadline? You could have extended him last fucking summer if you wanted to. You chose not to. You chose not to offer him anything. He hasn't denied that. He won't deny it because it's a fact. And it's bullshit. Like, I completely reject his reframing of what happened because it's already been reported on by like 4 or 5 different people, and he waited an entire fucking year to refute that. This man got insanely upset because of those. Remember there was a story that came out about like the Mavs want to trade Porzingis? And he was like, this is like salacious and this is wrong. And he had this entire fucking thing. They ended up trading Kristaps Porzingis, by the way. But like, he doesn't have the ability to not respond immediately to shit. He didn't respond because he knows he was wrong. And now he's responding because he's pissed. Because he's mad. Because he's the fucking butt of so many jokes right now. Because every Mavericks fan fucking hates him. And they should hate him. He's done nothing as an owner for like, since they won the championship and the CBA changed, he's done nothing. He's been terrible. He's been fucking god awful. The only reason they're not viewed as a total joke is because they still had Dirk, and then they luckily, and very luckily for them, fortunately, were able to move up and select Luka Doncic. That's it. That's the only reason. Those are the only reasons. They've done nothing else well. And even the things they've done well, they've eventually gone back and fucked up. Like they signed Seth Curry to a great deal, 4 years, $32 million. That was a steal of a contract. What did they do? They traded him after a year to get Josh fucking Richardson and a pick that they ended up using on what's his name? Tyler Bay from Colorado, or the fuck.
Yeah.
I would venture to guess Tyler Bay is not in the fucking NBA anymore. Like they are a fucking terribly run organization. They draft terribly. And even the guys they draft that I think could end up being like decent players, they have no idea what the fuck they're doing with them. Like you drafted Josh Green. What have they done with him for 3 years? And then like just when he was kind of like I mean this genuinely, like I thought he was like really starting to play well before they traded for Kyrie Irving. And then they do the Kyrie Irving trade, and he's been terrible since then. I'm not saying like you should not trade for Kyrie Irving because that. You shouldn't trade for Kyrie Irving for a lot of other reasons, actually. But like they just have no fucking clue what they're doing to any of these guys. Like Jaden Hardy, he's not going to play. You know, I just don't understand.
He's playing now.
Yeah,
sadly.
he's playing. Yeah, because they have to.
They have nobody.
Yeah, they need bodies out there. But like they're a joke, and he's a fucking joke. And finally, like, what is it? It's like the Emperor's New Clothes. You know, you can walk around butt ass naked, telling everybody you got a fucking tailor to give you invisible clothing, and after a while, everybody fucking looks at you and they're like, "Damn, you're not well endowed," and starts laughing at you. Like, Cuban's a joke, dude. Everybody finally fucking just realized it because it's just so obvious this year. Because there's not Luka Doncic bailing you out for 50 wins in a season. There's not Jalen Brunson taking a leap. Like, there's none of this shit to distract from the fact that you are a joke. And he deserves all the criticism. He deserves more criticism than that. Because this guy's gotten a fucking pass. Forget the basketball side of shit. Look at all the off-court stuff that's been going on over there for like the last 2 decades. You know, like, I'm not saying, look, we know Dolan's had his fucking fair share of bullshit, but guess what? Dolan catches shit for anything he does. Rightfully or wrong, like, as a fan, rightfully or wrongfully, nobody can actually tell me Dolan gets a fucking free pass or something like that. Cuban gets a free pass. He gets a fucking free ride because he talks to the media. He leaks stories to them. He's buddies with them. He's a clown, man. He's a joke. That organization's a joke. But, I mean, given all the, I mean, it's crazy to me that with all the off-court incidents they had, they went and fucking hired Jason Kidd as their head coach. Like, okay. They're just an absolute clown show. Their front office is run by fucking utter morons. And I just want to say, but the whole thing with they didn't get a chance to offer Jalen Brunson, he's playing a semantics game here. Okay, he's what he's doing. Because he's saying like, oh, well, by the time we had gone back and talked to him, they said they were only going to take a contract worth something between 18 and 23 million. Okay. You could have fucking offered that in the offseason. And if he wants to be like, well, you know, the Knicks offered more than that. You also said your biggest advantage is that you could pay. They literally, on the record, after they lost in the playoffs to Golden State, Mark Cuban is on the record. I posted the video today saying, why do you think Jalen Brunson's going to say? He said, because we can pay more than anybody. They offered 5 years, 110 to Jalen Brunson. The Knicks gave him 4 years, 100 million with the player option and with a hug from his dad and his godfather, Leon Rose, and the keys to the kingdom. Like, those are not comparable offers. And the fact you weren't even willing to up the ante financially to make it worth this time makes you a fucking imbecile and a joke. I have no sympathy for them. I have no sympathy for him. And by the way, Luka Doncic does not deserve sympathy either because that man has been embarrassing this year. And if you want to just see what embarrassing looks like, go look at a picture of him from 2 years ago and go look at a picture of him today. Just do that. And then you can come talk to me about it. He has no culpability. Get the fuck out of here.
He has triple the amount of chins. It's
triple.
Like, he's gained a chin for every year he's been in international play. My thing with Cuban.
And also, I just want to say this: Luka had an insane quote today. He said something like they asked him like, "What do you need to get? What do they need to get better at?" He's like, "Well, obviously defense, but it's hard because I've been playing for like 3 straight years or something." And I'm just like,
"Don't play."
Yeah. Well, also just shut up, like,
and get in shape.
Yeah, that's just you're not the only. Like, Giannis has been out here fucking playing forever. Shut up. No one wants to hear it. Like,
Yeah.
just stop crying.
That is
okay?
that's a wild quote, and the fact that like your superstar is basically saying that I can't play defense because I'm fat. Like, dude, like that team just has. And then Tim Hardaway Sr. is out here chatting bear. Like,
Tim Hardaway Jr. had to like clear the team's name today too. He was like, he said, I talk to my dad all the time about how good of a leader Luka is, how good of a leader Kyrie's been since
that's
he's
what
got
you
here.
call damage control.
It's better than past Tim Hardaway Sr. public comments. So
Yeah, we'll say that.
Yeah, fair. Like, yeah, it's just kind of like that entire organization from top to bottom just lacks leadership, lacks cohesion, lacks structure, and it's just like, aside from the fact that we've gotten really lucky with like Dirk Nowitzki taking pay cuts, saved that franchise so many times over because they were actually able to afford talent. Like Dirk Nowitzki got paid what he was worth. That franchise would have been folded.
Dirk Nowitzki winning a championship for that fucking loser ass, dysfunctional ass franchise with a fucking idiot piece of shit moron as their owner.
Best chips is like Hakeem.
That is why he's greater than Kevin Durant. I just wanted to get that in there. Sorry.
I mean, Kevin Durant is not even better than Jalen Brunson. What are we doing here?
It's true. That is true. He's done less for the city than Jalen Brunson has.
I already tweeted it. I said Ice Spice has done more. And it's true. It's true.
It is definitely true.
So it's just like that entire organization, like they're gonna have to blow it up in 2 years, and I think everybody kind of knows that at this point. Like, because they're not gonna have enough talent. Like, if you're gonna trade the 10th overall pick in the draft for like Miles Turner or something or Jalen Duren, I've seen people talk about
for OG Anunoby. Got to get him in there.
Like, they have no wings and no bigs. Like, what do you do with that?
The other thing, and I don't think people are talking about this enough, is, and it's because the new CBA, people are still figuring it out, right? Like, all the fine print, all the fine details. Jeremy has stopped being a lazy piece of shit, and fucking let us know everything that we need to know about the CBA. I don't like how much he's been slacking. Pick it up.
They're not gonna have their mid-level exception next year, and they're not gonna be able to trade their picks.
That's part of it, and then it's like, if they're over the tax, right? If there's so much over the tax, then they can't make trades to take on salary, and like, there's just all these fucking things that are. And I'm like, you're already starting from a deficit, and maybe if you had a front office that had proven itself to be creative, that had proven itself to be shrewd, that had proven itself to be capable of making smart moves and figuring things out without a lot of flexibility, I could see why, maybe you can figure it out. Their front office fucking sucks. They couldn't even re-sign Jalen Brunson, who they literally had every advantage to re-sign. They traded a first-round pick for Christian Wood with no apparent plan at all to pay him when he was a year out from unrestricted free agency. And now he's probably going to walk because it doesn't seem like they want to pay him. And guess what? If you pay Kyrie Irving and you pay Christian Wood, you're so far into the fucking luxury tax, which we know Mark Cuban does not want to pay. He definitely doesn't want to be on the tab for a repeater tax because they're already in the tax this year. Yep. You think he wants to pay a repeater tax? No, he definitely doesn't want to pay a repeater tax. And they still got that Bertans contract next year. They still have the Hardaway Jr. contract for 2 more years. Like, they are in that JaVale McGee contract was fucking insane the moment they signed
it.
Player option for the 3rd year. Like, they're so fucked, and it's like they don't even know it yet. They don't even know it yet, and if they do, they're just burying their head in the sand and ignoring it. Like, if they were smart, and I really mean this, I think I even said this like 2 years ago because I already thought they were fucked. And guess what? They might not have been fucked if they kept Jalen Brunson because the leap he made was like, can I just say this? You know how fucking stupid you have to be? Like, this is what we were about to do this, by the way, with like Emmanuel Quickley, right? It's like, do you know what you have? Do you know this thing that you have that's very, very good? Do you know what it is? And if you can't figure it out and you let that thing go away and it balls the fuck out, like, you fucked up. Like, they fucked up so hard. They did not know what they had with Jalen Brunson, which is unreal to me. You had that guy in the building for 4 years. For 4 years. For a playoff run that you went to the Western Conference Finals. You had him for all that, and you could not figure out what he was. When you saw this man dropping 40 in the playoffs, dropping 30 in the playoffs, without Luke on the floor, you couldn't figure out what you had. You're run by idiots, and you're run by cheap, incompetent fools who think they are basketball smart or understand basketball because they sold the company for multi-billion dollars in the late 90s.
Like, it just makes no sense because now you're going to pay Kyrie Irving what, $30 million more to do what Jalen Brunson was doing for you already.
And even if you want to say Kyrie's better, like,
he's not $30 million
yeah,
better.
it's just stupid, and he's also fucking unstable.
Yeah, like, you would have had Spencer Dinwiddie, Jalen Brunson, Dorian Finney-Smith still on your roster. You would have had your pick this year. You probably could have traded, even if you trade for Christian Wood, still like that's still a better team. You're significantly more flexible. You have a better asset in Jalen Brunson that's locked up for 4 years, maybe even 5 years if you actually extended him. Like, it just made no sense to me at the time that like they didn't even want to sign and trade. Like, the Knicks were willing to sign and trade. The Knicks would have gave you like Alec Burks probably would be the third best player right now. I'm not even joking.
Well, we know that the reason they didn't want to do the sign and trade is because they didn't want to give up an unprotected pick to the Knicks.
Which is
because 100% what the Knicks would have wanted is probably like a couple of seconds and to unprotect that pick this year, which would have been nice in retrospect.
Yeah, but like, I think the Knicks absolutely knew it. Like, so like you probably would have got Alec Burks and Nerlens Noel, and Kemba Walker, who you already had playing for your franchise earlier. Like,
dude. Oh my God, the
Kemba stretch was
that one game was crazy though.
That Cavs game,
well, he just went off for no reason.
They lost though, right?
They lost it, but it was.
They did.
I mean, we saw this last year with him. He can do that for a game, and then he's just like, By
done.
the way, my knee
is done.
I don't have it anymore.
He's just,
I left it on the court.
He's Deku. He's Deku. For anyone who watches anime, you know. But
you know how like Kurt Thomas had the Utah game in 2013. Like Kemba can give
has
you
one of those every game.
Yeah, he can give you one every year.
Yeah, the 44 piece that he gave against the Wizards. It always happens in a loss, by the way. It always happens in a loss.
It has to be in a loss. That's it.
But
I've never seen him and Big Kurt.
Yeah, but it just made. And now you traded your 2029 pick. You can't trade your 2030 pick when it or your 2031 pick when it comes out because now the repeater tax and the new CBA were like you can't trade picks 7 years into the future if you're a tax team. So like, yeah, and they didn't even have second round picks because they were tossing out second round picks like candy here. They traded like second round picks for like Nico Melli and JJ Redick. We had their second round picks unlocked from the protected pick. Like, that team is screwed. That team is absolutely screwed, and like they're gonna have to trade Luka. That like you basically have to do it. You have to do it because at some point you need to have some kind of assets, and you don't have the assets. Like they can't even give up cash and trade. That I don't think people realize how much that bones them. I'm pretty sure they got Jaden Harvey that way. Like that, they're done. They're done.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, and that team's not even going to be good next year. Like, I don't care if they resign Kyrie Irving. You're still not going to have any pieces. You think adding a rookie to this team is going to make it any better? If you keep the pick. Like,
they you don't have. This is the problem. They don't have time. You don't get to like tell Luka, like, just wait for this kid. Like unless let's say they get incredibly lucky. Okay, let's say they get incredibly fortunate. They get the number one pick. They get take Wembanyama. I know like Wembanyama is a generational talent and all that. I'm not going to pretend like I've been watching his film because why would I? The Knicks aren't going to pick him. Like he's not going to come in from day one and just dominate the NBA. Like he's shooting what, like 29% from three or whatever it is right now.
To be fair, his numbers are deflated because he's just trying shit to get noticed. Like he basically is coming as much.
I'm sure that's the case, but I'm sure some of it is also like he's also like 18. Like he's just young. Like so I'm sure he's going to become a very good 3-point shooter. He might not be an extremely great 3-point shooter from day one. And guess what? From what I've read about him, he doesn't want to just stand around on the 3-point line and wait for spot up looks, right? Like part of this is also on Luka. Like he has to be better to play with. Like he has to act. Who does he make better? I still have not under like people are like, oh, like who does he make better? Did he make Jalen Brunson better? No. Did he make Kristaps Porzingis better? No. So he makes like he can basically take a team
makes himself better.
Yeah, that's filled with role players that can spot up, that can set screens and roll to the rim. So he can take those very, very limited role players and carry them to regular season wins. But then once you get to the playoffs, all you're going to hear about is how, oh, he needs more help. He needs more help. He needs more help. He needs more help. You have to let guys actually help you for that to be the case. So
Let's go, Kai. Let's go, Kai.
Yeah, he's balling right now. But like
trying to save this Knicks pick.
But he, these guys like he's got to own some of this too. Like it's fun to shit on Cuban and all that, but like it's on Luka just as much, I think.
I mean, yeah, it's organizational failure from top
down.
Yeah,
because they've leaned into like this style of play. So
I mean, it could be worse. You could be the Heat.
Oh yeah.
So the Heat real quick. I saw that caption. That caption is disgusting. Victor Oladipo has a player option. What are we doing with our lives?
See, but like, isn't that the difference though? Whereas like I know that Riley has been, let's say, hit or miss of late. But like, there's at least a track record there of them
being smart.
Yeah, figuring shit out on the fly. Like
they got Jimmy Butler from like spare parts.
Yeah, like they like Dallas is what have they figured out?
Yes.
How to lose Jalen Brunson for nothing?
Yes. Let's go, Mavs.
Oh my god, man, fucking Luka.
Oh, let's go, Mavs. God, Luka's an idiot, but you know what? They're up 5 with 26 seconds. And De'Aaron Fox sold. Let's go! Oh, this is a good day. It's a good day. This day could not get any better.
This epic collapse that we had to them is looking better, huh?
Dude, 40 chess. 40 chess.
The Knicks knew all along that one win might be the one that, does it all.
Dude, like, I didn't think they probably thought that, okay, we'll probably get like 19. I didn't think they would get 11. Like, if they actually get 11 out of this, and I was telling Sam earlier, I'm like, 11 last year versus 11 this year feels so much better. Because you're just like, oh, 11 last year, damn, we could have tanked so much sooner. We were garbage. And 11 this year is like, oh my god, this is the best pick ever. This feels like getting number 1. I hope we get Wemby. Like, you're just like, I hope Wemby drops.
I'm just scrolling through some comments. We don't have to address all of them, but I'm just highlighting some that, standing out right now. Whoa, my computer's doing weird shit. This one is funny. Is right hand maintenance the silliest injury report for a Knick? I feel like we've had some weirder ones before.
He just beats his meat. It's fine.
All right.
It happens to the best of us.
All right. Vivek mentions that we're not a steal hunting team, so you rarely see us gamble for steals.
You said gamble. Sam's out here tweaking. What?
What are you doing, Josh Green?
Oh, man. Are the Mavs folding?
What are you doing?
No. Okay. All right, we're good. We're good.
Yeah. Okay. They had Davion Mitchell taking the 3. We're good. And then De'Aaron Fox, they had him taking the 3.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. We're not a steal hunting team. Also, like, I just think I don't think a Tibbs team has actually finished around there I don't think he's had I think he's had like one top 10 steals team way back in Chicago. So it's just not.
Luka actually made the shot. That's wild.
I think it was after the buzzer, though, right?
Yeah, I think it was after the buzzer, but that's actually kind of funny.
Yeah.
So if they win Friday, I think we're good. They just need to beat the Bulls.
Oh my God, our Bulls.
We need the Mavericks to beat the Bulls. That's gonna be the hater game of the century.
The best part is how we just don't need to like I don't actually need to care about what happens in the next game anymore. It's great. Love it.
I'm just watching and the Thunder are playing like all the hard teams. So this actually might happen. Yeah, they play the Jazz. I need the Jazz to act like it's fucking 1996.
I mean, did you see the lineup they put out there last night? The Lakers made it interesting, but that's just because the Lakers were fucking.
They love to fold.
They were doing some of the dumbest shit I've seen at the end of that game. But I think if that pick ends up being like 11 or 12 or 13 or something, that would be unreal.
I would be so happy.
Nafimo Huda says RJ went to the Drummond School of Fitness last offseason.
All right, we just talking about RJ is just not.
Be nice.
I will say
it's a thyroid condition.
Not even.
There are a couple of rough RJ comments here that I will not highlight.
Oh,
I
it's
will.
just it's just raw. It's just I don't even like. Again, like you just watch some of the stuff Grimes is doing tonight. And I'm like,
Schwinn, are you sure you're not doing it for the clicks?
yeah. But like you watch some of the stuff Grimes is doing tonight, and you're just like, man, why? Like RJ was never the fastest guy, which is fine. Like you don't I mean there's plenty of guys that are not fucking nuclear athletes out there in the NBA, but what the hell? The guy's just out there now, and it's like it's so rough.
Y'all are sick.
This comment is hilarious.
Even I'm not that ruthless. Jesus Christ. Lance Thomas?
Oof.
Oh my God, Jerome.
He's just it's so slow. It's so slow. It's
Jared
so
Jeffries
slow.
is right there, by the way.
Everything is so slow. Everything is so slow with him right now. It's crazy.
They said they like how the RJ segment started with "Be nice."
But guys, his right hand.
Oh my gosh, Schwinn, this one is for you, bro.
No, we're not doing this. Nothing is like the Tyson Chandler flu. Fuck Tyson Chandler. Fuck that guy. Nope. I won't sink that low. I won't have that. Not in my locker room.
I love y'all. I love this. Oh, that's fed the streets. This is great.
Oh my gosh, the Tyson Chandler flu. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
But it's just you watch Grimes saying like I just don't understand like anything about RJ at all.
Oh my gosh.
It's one of the and like then you go back and just watch some of the shit he was doing like December, and I'm like, what?
He was posterizing Vooch, and like somehow I thought he gained a step, and then he lost a step in like January.
He hurt his finger, and then he like now he can't move. Oh shit! He can't move well anymore.
Whoa, Schwinn.
Are they got the voodoo out?
No, I dropped my water bottle and I was about to drop it on the table and would have ended poorly. But like he just I really like I'm telling you, December is maybe the best month of his career offensively anyway.
Yeah, it was.
It was fucking awesome.
It was special.
And he looks like he's moving like and the thing that was encouraging about it was like to start the year we were all like he looks slow, he looks slower. And in December he starts turning the corner. They even asked him about it, right? Bondi asked him about it and he was like, yeah, I couldn't do a lot of on-court work this summer, so now I'm starting to like feel it. And I'm like, okay, well that makes sense. And like he was starting to defend at a better clip, which is when we went on that 8-game winning streak. It also helped that Grimes was next to him. But even RJ's defense itself had improved during that stretch. And then his offense was obviously a lot better during that too. And it's just like you hurt your finger, and then it's like he hurts his finger, and then he comes back, and then since then it's like he doesn't look right physically. I don't understand it at all. And like I kind of hope that at the end of the season or something we hear like, oh, he's getting like surgery and like his groin or something. Like it's the only thing that would make
sense. He's getting like weight loss surgery. Oh my god!
Liposuction. No, but that's the only thing that would make me be like, okay, well maybe that's what it was, because it's just so inexplicable to go from like what he was in December to this, and it's like it's not about the percentage. It's just how he's moving, and then some of the like there was this possession I have like a bunch of shit that I clipped from what was the last game we played? That Cleveland game. That Cleveland game. I have like 3 or 4 different defensive sequences. And by sequences I don't mean plays. I mean like 2 or 3 plays put together that I'm just like I was like, what the fuck are you doing here? And I didn't post them. I'm not going to post them because I just don't want to do it. But like I shared them in our Discord, and I'm just like,
I saw them. And
they're just like they're really bad. And I'm like, I don't even know what like if I like Obi, like like I watched Obi tonight, right? Obi fucked up a lot of defensive rotations, but every single time he fucks one up, I see him like making the effort to just, like go and fly back out at the shooter or do something. Like he doesn't just die and give up. And like everything with RJ right now is so, it's just I can't describe it in any other way. It's like slow. It's physically slow. It's mentally slow. It's just it's all bad. It's just all bad, especially in the defensive end. And like the playoffs are not going to be kind to him. I don't think unless he seriously like whatever like that second half of the Miami game when he was just like, okay, I'm just going to be role player RJ, that was good. That was really good. You can win with that guy. But if he gets into like, I need to try to be shot creator mode, like it is not going to end well because it just has not been good this year. It has not.
So I think that
yeah.
I think that goes right into this question, which Jordan Bub asks: who's the main X factor for the Cavs Knicks series? I think we'd all agree. All right,
Isaac Okoro's jumper.
No, literally, like it's Karis LeVert, Isaac Okoro's jumper, and RJ Barrett's weight loss plan. Like,
oh my gosh! So RJ is one of the main X factors for this.
I honestly, I think it's the Knicks. Like, I know this is kind of a cop out. Not really. I think it's just the Knicks' depth. If the Knicks' depth pieces, like so specifically, Grimes, Quick, Hartenstein, if those guys play well, I think the Knicks
win in 5 or 6.
Oh, I don't even know. I don't know because
I feel like 6 is such a safe answer with this series.
But it's the Randall thing makes this series so weird. It makes it so weird
because we don't even know he's gonna come back.
I don't think he should come back. Like, I really don't. And I'm not not because
Randall theory time.
No, it's not because of Randall theory. Although
maybe Simmons.
No. I don't think he should come back because I genuinely that injury didn't look good, and I have a hard time believing. They said he's going to be reevaluated in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I think he's missed a couple games.
Like if he comes back, and even if he let's say he comes back after game 2, I'm still worried about him in the series because he's he wouldn't have been able to. He's not going to be able to been doing conditioning work right now or on court work right now. He's just in the weight room, right? He's just doing what he can. I would not.
He is sipping wine and watching White Lotus. I don't think he's doing anything.
Whatever he's doing, it doesn't matter. But he's not doing on-court work, and I just worry. And he's not a guy that you can just oh, we'll ease you in off the bench. No.
Yeah, no.
He's gonna come in. He's gonna play 35 fucking minutes and start and get touches and be a focal point offensively. And it's just I just don't. I'm worried about that. I am very worried about that for sure.
Sounds like it's Randall theory time.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I think against another team there might be a Randall theory. This is not the team that Randall theory would apply to. I don't think.
Shahrukh Simmons here.
That's crazy. That's the most racist thing you've ever said.
Oh my gosh.
We have nothing to talk about.
Yeah, I mean that's it. I mean, I guess you could even say then Randall's health. Maybe Randall's health is probably the main X factor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because without him, I still think we could win. But I think the way you win is it's a lot different, and it's you have a worse chance of winning without him in this series. There are series, there are certain matchups where I'd be curious to see, I would feel better about, but this is not one of them.
If we were playing Boston round 1, and
Obi plays well. I think Obi plays well against them, generally speaking.
Yeah. Because their bigs suck.
Yeah, and they can't oh yeah, Tatum's gonna post him up. Okay, cool. Let's see that.
Tatum posting up anyone is hilarious.
I mean, they do have the 6th man of the year though, so gotta watch out for that.
Yeah, when I think 6th man of the year, I think of Malcolm Brogdon. He's just so presidential, sneaky.
Malcolm Brogdon gets no play at the club, man.
He has no aura.
Have you seen? Have you guys seen Don't Be a Menace?
No.
You've never seen that movie?
No.
Jesus Christ. You're so fucking young. I'm so ashamed of you right now, Tyrese.
What do you want me to do? Be older?
Yes. Be older. Grow up. You just said you love the 90s Knicks.
This is how I feel at work. I'm the youngest person at my job, so I get all this shit at work.
Dude, all the 40-year-old women who just get mad at me because I haven't watched The Lion King and shit. I'm just dude, you guys were 20. You need to fuck alone.
But no, he's just Malcolm Brogdon he gets no play at the club.
No aura.
No aura. Definitely is just talking about
critical race theory.
Yeah, he's talking about critical race theory at the pregame. Everybody else is doing a shot. He's like, did you guys read the new Harper's magazine? No. Does anybody read magazines anymore?
What's your favorite Tyler Perry movie?
Wow. David Goodman says Randall's mental state might be the main X factor also.
Yeah. I think it just comes down to Randall and how he's
just playing. Randall in general, the person.
I will say Randall the injury in some ways I think was a good thing for him because that first half of that Miami game looked. I was like,
Not even just the first half of that Miami game, like
Yeah.
even the games leading up to it were like
Orlando
pretty
one
rough.
was
It was
rough.
like since I want to say it's like since the game winner.
No, it was since the Boston
Since the game where the vibes have been down.
Yeah,
with
since
Orlando.
after the game winner.
I mean, the
Oh, no,
Minnesota game was
Boston
one
wasn't
that brought
the
up that game.
no,
Boston wasn't the game winner.
no, I'm saying after the game winner. Next
After
game
the
was
Miami
in
game
Boston.
winner.
Yeah, he was good in the Boston game. His vibes.
Yeah,
were
he was
great.
good, but he was lazy in defense. I think the
Yeah,
defense has been an issue
Since then, though, it started to like
Yeah.
there was like a gradual decrease.
Yeah, the
in-
Charlotte one, everybody sucked, and I'm like, okay, he's probably tired. They're tired. The Kings game after that, I was like, okay, because they like him and Quickley was
Clippers.
terrible in that game. RJ was bad, and he was bad, and I'm like, okay, these three guys play the most minutes. It is what it is. I'm fine with it.
Clippers.
But then the Clippers game happened. You're like, what the fuck? He played much better against the Lakers offensively anyway. But yeah, to your point, the defense was not good in that. The defense against Portland after that was not good, but we just destroyed them because Portland sucks. Yeah, you're right. It's been weird since then, and obviously then there's the Orlando and the Clippers game. He had a meltdown in that game, right? That was the one where like
Yeah.
he picked the dumbest technical possible at the end of the first or the end of the third. No, he picked up a foul, and then he got a technical in the third quarter to finish the third quarter, and then he had to be restrained by like the entire fucking team, and Johnny had to like whisper the teachings of Buddha to him to like calm him down, and it's just like, dude,
Sunset and big guy.
what is going on, buddy? Like, yeah, sunset and big guy, right? It was not good. So maybe just being away from the team, and that's a good reach stuff for him, but he definitely needed something. That was not good.
Yeah.
Oh, the Celtics are minus 5.2 with Brogdon on the court overall. The lineup of Smart, Brogdon, Jalen, Tatum, and Horford has played 229 possessions together and is minus 10.4.
6 man of the year, maybe.
Shout out Doc Kev. Good Doc Kev tweet.
Gone and dusted. Wait, Billy Donovan says Levine, by Sid versus Mavs. That's fucking cool.
I mean, they're locked into the play-in, and they're probably locked into 10. So like, there's like no reason for them to like.
Oh, they're resting everybody against the Mavs.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, but this is the Mavs, so.
Yeah, the Mavs will find a way to fold.
Please, I need this. I need this.
Do we need
Jordan Bub says since the Knicks moved Grimes to the starting lineup 57 games, they've won 64% of their games, a 53-win pace. That'd be good for fifth best winning percentage in basketball behind only Milwaukee, Boston, Denver, and Philadelphia. Yeah.
The pace is crazy once you factor in since
Josh
they got
Hart.
Hart. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're 17-6, right? Since then.
Yeah.
So whatever that math is. Oh,
It's
Kawhi. Cool. Ooh.
Yeah, 74% winning percentage.
Wow.
We've been snapping.
Yeah, so quite the acquisition there.
Nick's tape says, yeah, the Bulls are locked into the 10th seed. So, all right.
Yeah, they're probably that one game on the road to Toronto was worth it, guys. Good job. Great season.
All right. I mean, I think we've talked about all we can today.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll talk more about playoff matchups as we get closer and closer, and we'll probably have a playoff stream.
Getting that Mavs pick, though, like, if it's 11, 12, whatever, that's, like, such a huge bonus for us in terms of, like, a trade chip, just having that.
Mm-hmm.
And even if it's, like, I mean, I'd prefer to just use it and just have somebody in the pipeline. But, like, however you use it, whatever you use it for, that's huge to have that chip.
Okwakua and Anobi.
All right.
No.
Way to ruin the vibes, Tyrese.
It's happening. Me and Prez are standing on this. It's happening.
Yeah, you and Prez standing on the most boring fucking guy ever. If you ever want to go to sleep, throw on some OG and Anobi highlights.
I throw
that will get the crib sleeping.
Yeah.
I throw a strict and roll instead.
Hey, as long as you throw it on, I don't give a shit.
You're so lucky. I'm making fun of me because I'm supposed to be on it. Anyway.
All right. Shout out to everyone that tuned in. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure y'all subscribe. We are on our way to 1K subs. So all that you do does definitely help us there. Yeah, we got everything Strickland related in the description. We got links to the site, merch, Patreon, and Twitter. Make sure you guys are following us on Twitter. Make sure you guys are following us on Instagram. It is right there on the corner of your screen at the strict.land. All great ways to support and follow us. Next game is on Friday versus the Pelicans, right?
Yes.
We will be back after then to give our breakdown of that game, which will be very short, and then we will lollygag and do whatever we did today. So make sure you guys join us for that. Everyone enjoy your next couple days. I will be enjoying my spring break as I am a teacher and I am finally on break. And yep, everyone have a good night.